One really simple question that goes kind of along those lines with like, where are you not showing up for yourself? Is just asking yourself, like, what do I need today? What does my body need today? What does my heart need today? And just like letting whatever the answer is be, and then giving that to yourself because you're worth it.
You are listening to the Beyond the Classroom podcast, a podcast for burnt out teachers who know something's gotta give. After teaching for 14 years and feeling completely burned out for way too long, in May of 2022, I made a big decision and left the classroom. I now help burnt out teachers like you take back balance and joy so you can wake up every day loving your life. In this podcast, we'll explore who you are beyond the classroom, whether you're considering leaving or wanting to make changes so you can fall in love with teaching again. Either way, I understand what it's like to be living a life that looks fun and cute on the outside. You know, summer's off, playing all day, off at 2 o'clock every day, but actually feels miserable and draining. I'm your host and coach, Sandy Patterson, and I'm so excited to help you step into your fullest potential and believe in that potential to make an impact on the world, not just survive each day. Are you ready? Let's do this. Hey you guys, heads up. This is the second episode in a 3-part masterclass I did called Get Your First or Next Client Masterclass, where we dive into both the strategy and mindset required to get your first or next client in your business. So if you haven't listened to the previous episode, I highly recommend going back, listening to that episode because this episode will build on that one. I can't wait to hear what you think. Make sure you reach out and let me know what your big ahas are and when you get that first or next client so I can celebrate with you. Enjoy. Good morning. How's everybody doing today? Or good afternoon to some of you, right? Doing good, good. Well, it is so great to see you back today. I hope that you yesterday, like we talked about, you kind of let everything kind of just settle in. Maybe there were some more realizations, maybe there were some more aha moments. So I am excited to hear about those from you today. I just very briefly before we get started again, I'm going to just set our intentions. And like I said before, my intention is that I created this workshop because I think this is a common thing that we all really are working through in the beginning phases of our business. And it can feel really alone. Like it can feel like everybody else is getting clients, everybody else, it's easy for everybody else has this figured out and I can't figure this out. And so I wanted a space where we could come together and I could share these things that I've learned in a way that I've never seen it done before. So my intention is that this reaches you. And even if you know everything that I'm going to share today or yesterday or on Thursday, that just it lands in a different way. Maybe you hear it in a different way. And maybe even if it's just one small thing, that it's something that you needed to hear in this moment in order to take that next step forward. Okay. And then I just ask from you that you're all in and you're committed to seeing this through, whether you're here live or you're listening to the replay, that you are in this. And we know that if we want to see results, we're going to have to do things we've never done before. And like I said, this process is something that I've never seen done before. And we're really going to dive in today what makes this different. And it's really about the belief. Today is all around belief in yourself. And it's something that I haven't ever talked to any woman that feels like they are totally 100% confident with self-belief, self-worth, all of that. So we're going to talk about that today. And like I said yesterday, I've got you. I ask that you embrace being uncomfortable for a bit in the spirit of moving forward, of movement forward, and of just finally doing the damn thing, right? Because I think we all get to a point in our business where we're like, okay, I'm done. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's freaking go. So this is let's freaking go time. Okay. And I'm here for you. I expect if you need any help that you reach out, whether it's on Instagram, DM, Voxer, text me, whatever it is. I love talking with you guys yesterday on Voxer and on Instagram in the DMs about your takeaways and kind of realizations that you had. So I'm really looking forward to today. I know today is going to bring up a lot of resistance and a lot of just like, oh, I don't want to do this. But I also know that you guys are all powerful. You are all strong. You are all here for a reason. And you're here because
we want to get those clients, and we're going to do that. So I think this is the missing piece when I talked yesterday about it's never really about what you need to do. Like, you guys know what you need to do. Like, you need to be able to handle objections. You need to tell people about your offer. You need to tell people about what you do. You know what you need to say about your offer. You know what you need to do. We're just not confident enough quite yet to own those things and say them with conviction. And that's what today is all about. It's about bridging the gap. And the piece I think that is missing a lot of times is this confidence piece. And it's something that I have worked on for years. Like anybody, I've been in space with a lot of you for a while now, and you all know that like it's always confidence for me. And I think that that's something that resonates with a lot of people. So I would love to hear from you guys, and you could just drop in the chat, or you can use your fingers, or you can unmute yourself, whatever feels good to you. On a scale of 1 to 5, how confident are you in talking about your offer and what you provide? I see you laughing. You can use your fingers, you can use the chat, you can unmute, you can. She says 1. Okay, we got a 1, a 3-ish, but not, you don't seem very confident in that 3 ish. Okay. All right. 1.5. Okay. Give yourself a little bit more grace there. Okay. So we got some 1s, some 3s. And I think that the problem too, well, it's not a problem, but the thing is like we're told like you get on a sale, you get on a discovery call, you close the sale, and then that's it. You're done. But there's so much more that happens in between. And unless you have the confidence to really own the process and own your offer and own you, like the value that you bring to the table, it's just simply not going to work because of the energy, right? Like, you bring energy to every space that you're in, whether that space is in person, whether it's on Zoom, whether it's on Instagram, whether it's on a phone call. Like, you exude energy, and people can read and feel that energy, right? Now, all of these things, like what needs to happen? How do we bridge that gap, right? Like, how do we start to become confident in our offer and what we bring to the table? All of these things come, right? All of this value comes from your self-value and your self-worth. That it's this idea that right now, in this exact moment, in this very moment, just as you are right now, you are exactly what your people need. And your people may just be one person. It may just be 2 people. It doesn't have to be hundreds of thousands of people like we make it out to be in our head, right? Like, we are all in this. We're all in business to make a difference and to make an impact. But we start off with one person. You start off with making an impact with one person. And that's why I really like to pare this down too. Like we talked about yesterday, it's not about signing 100 clients. Like, your nervous system couldn't handle that in this moment or in the beginning phases of your business. So it's making the impact with the one person, and then the 5 people, and then the 10 people. And then we feel like we kind of have our feet underneath us and we're grounded. But it's this idea that you are exactly as you are right now. No more credentials, no more courses, no more time, no more experience, no more certifications. What someone needs right now. Okay. Now, I'm curious, what would your number be on a scale of 1 to 5 in the belief in that you are exactly as you are right now, what somebody needs? What would your number be for that? Because I know for me, in the beginning, I was like a half, maybe like a half a finger.
Is 6 an option?
6, and yeah, hell yeah. Hell yes, 6 is an option, always. Now, what do you think? Okay, will you share? What do you think? Like, how do you be a 6? How do you get to be a 6?
Okay, so how do I come to the conclusion that I'm at a 6? Because I am confident enough to know that the people who helped me through what I was going through did not have it all together, did not have every answer I was looking for, and they still help me because, like I learned from you, they are only maybe a couple steps in front of me.
Yeah.
And it's very easy for me to be that 6 and recognize, like, oh, hey, I don't have to have all of the answers figured out to be able to help someone take a couple baby steps. And I know that, like, this part of my story, I'm living my story so that it can help someone else.
That's beautiful. And what we're doing too today is like getting to that 6 or 7, like we're just gonna like Liv, your bridge is there. Like you have the confidence. Let's make it even stronger. The other people that are here, what would you say your number is? Like you are just like, I'm the freaking best. I am amazing. I am awesome. I am here. I am ready to help you. You can unmute or fingers or chat.
I said 3.
Okay, nice.
I'm gonna go with 4.
Hey, nice. Okay. So this is good. And what I often hear a lot of people say is like, I just need to be more confident. Like if I were just a little more confident, I could talk about my offer. I could make that post on social media. I could tell the lady at the gym about my offer and what I do, and I could talk about it more. Well, confidence comes from self-value and self-worth plus action, right? Confidence is a byproduct of self-value and self-worth. And what's the difference between self-value and self-worth? Self-worth is that you value yourself, like you see the value you bring to the table. And self-value is that you just feel like you are worthy of asking people for money, of providing that service, of taking up space in this life and in your business. And you value yourself and you know that you would bring a shit ton of value to the table, there's really no way that you can't feel confident talking about what you do and talking about your offer. And once you have that confidence and that self-value, you can do all of these things that we talked about before. Like you can handle those objections. You can tell people about your offer. You can tell people what you do. You can own it. You know what you need to say. You just also know now, like you come to the table bringing that full value and you're confident enough to execute it, right? So the question then becomes like, how do we believe something when we don't quite believe this yet? And Liv, you and I have talked about this a lot. How do we believe when we don't quite believe yet? Like I know I can do this. I'm a 2, I'm a 3 in my confidence and my self-value that I bring to the table. But how do I get to that 6? How do I get to that 10? How do I get to that, 100 off the charts? Like I'm so freaking amazing. Today, I'm going to give you 3 strategies for this, and this is more of the inner work. It's the thought work. It's the mindset work. And like I said yesterday, this is a really big piece of what we do in the Biz Builders program. And it's really the reason that I found that we're able to collapse time is because we combine that mindset and the simple strategy, right? So tomorrow we're going to talk about the doing. Today, we're talking about the being. All right. So we're essentially not wasting our time on all of these like thoughts that we have about, am I good enough? Can I do this? I don't have enough confidence to do this. I don't know how to talk about my offer. So the first strategy here I'm going to give you, I'm all about like step by step here. So the first thing that we're going to do today is we're going to find evidence. We're going to find evidence that we are the freaking best, that you are the best person to do whatever it is that you want to do, which I know is help people and make an impact. And we're going to find evidence not just in your business, but in your everyday life. So for those of you guys were all here yesterday. If you weren't here yesterday and you're catching this replay, make sure you go back and watch day 1 because we did an activity. We created buckets of our people that we think we would like to work with. These are broad buckets. We're not worrying about like getting super, super clear on the niche yet. And then we also created a sheet and it has 4 columns. In the first column, it has a person's name. It has in the second column why you'd like to work with them. And then in the third column, it has just how you think you can help them. And these are really, really broad. Like on my first one, I wrote the carpool lady. I don't even know her name. Why? Because she seems cool and I would like to have a drink with her. And then how could I help her? I think I could help her create more time and feel less stressed, because every time I talk to her in the carpool line, she talks about how stressed she is. So these are just very, very broad. I'm not overthinking it. I'm just kind of getting it out on paper. I'm getting it out into the world and putting it out into the universe that I want to work with this lady. Okay. So we're going to talk about finding evidence now, and how can I believe that how do I gain the confidence to, number one, talk to this lady and tell her like what I do, but also what do I say, right? So for those of you who didn't know this too, I think all of you knew this, that I am NLP certified. So that NLP is neuro linguistic programming, and it's really just using words to change our beliefs and to get into our subconscious mind, because we know that the subconscious mind runs the show. So if the idea here is that I want to take my self-worth and my self-value from a 3 over to a 5, and I need to do that because that is what's going to give me confidence to really own my offer and to really like just shout it from the mountaintops and tell everybody about it and start to pull people into my space. This is how I bridge that gap. This is how I get from a 3 to even a 4. Okay. So normally what you'll hear people say is like, I would tell you, okay, fill in the blank. I am exactly what carpool lady needs. And there's your affirmation. I'm just going to use, my goal today is to figure out this lady's name when I go pick up my kids, and I'll text you guys and box you. Like, her name is, okay. So there's your affirmation. I'm exactly what carpool lady needs. Now I can say that over and over and over again to myself. I can write it on a Post-it. I can write it on my mirror. Great. I'm exactly what she needs. I don't quite believe it yet, but I have my affirmation up, right? So what happens here is your subconscious mind says, no, you're not. I say, I'm exactly what carpool lady needs. Subconscious mind on replay, not consciously, subconsciously. It says, no, you're not, to this statement, right? This is a statement. I'm telling the universe, I'm telling the world, I'm telling myself, I'm telling my subconscious mind, I'm the best person for this job. But my subconscious mind is running the show, and it's like, no, you're actually not. So we're going to tweak this a little bit here. And here's the new sentence frame. Okay. And what we're going to do on column 4. So you're going to pull out that paper. Don't do it if you're driving, but if you're in a space where you have your paper from yesterday, your columns from yesterday, go ahead and pull it out. And we're going to create this new sentence frame next to in this column 4. So essentially for every person you have on your list, you have 4 little things. You have their name, why you want to work with them, how you can help them, and then you're going to fill in this frame. I may just be exactly what carpool lady needs, because that's your sentence frame. I may just be exactly what whoever's name needs, because, and then fill in the blank. You can pull things from the other columns here to fill in that blank. I may just be exactly what carpool lady needs, because I think I can help her create more time and feel less stressed. Now, here's like the magic in this. Your subconscious mind to this statement says, okay, yeah, maybe. It's just like, it'll say, let's see how we can begin to prove this, because your subconscious mind always wants to prove things, right? Do you guys hear that saying all the time? Like, let's F around and find out. That's the situation here. Let's see how this can be true. And you can see the nuance. This is very nuanced in the words that we're using here. All we did here is change the word am to the word may. So I'm not telling my subconscious mind anything. I'm saying, maybe this is true. Let's see how we can prove it. Does that make sense? Does that resonate with you?
Can I just say, since I can't write right now, what
Yeah,
came up? I love this because it looks at it instead from an angle, right, that our subconscious mind does not deal in extremes. It does not deal in a this is or absolutes, right? It deals in a give me a statement and let me prove it. I may be, I may not be. And that's something that like I have used in situations when I'll get unsolicited advice, right? And I'll tell somebody, oh, you may be right. But I also know in my head, I'm like, yeah, you may be wrong too. So I love that this plays on that.
It does. It does. And it's interesting to think about too, because there really truly is no like right or wrong. Like if you think about it, like you could argue anything. Like if I say, oh, gravity is a sure thing. Well, yeah, but if you go to the moon, like it's not, it's not a sure thing. Like you can argue anything. So we're choosing, like we're essentially we're essentially creating our own reality. And I heard this, I was listening to a podcast. I probably told one of you about this, but she was like, I was talking to an Uber driver and I was telling him about like your thoughts and how your thoughts can really create your reality. And the Uber driver was like, so basically you're just like lying to yourself all the time. And she was kind of like, yeah, I guess I am. I'm choosing my story and I'm choosing to believe it wholeheartedly. And so if I get to choose wholeheartedly what my reality is, I'm going to choose a freaking amazing reality. I'm not going to like sit here like you are and like just, life sucks, whatever, and like complain about it. And I apparently after that, he was like, oh my gosh, you're right. And I don't know. It makes sense. Like you get to choose your thoughts. And some other, like, let me see here. So some other common things that I hear people say when it comes to like sharing their offer and essentially asking people to work with you, right? Like there can be a lot of feelings around this. I'm curious for you guys too. I know where each of you are in your businesses, but what number would you give yourself here? And well, I guess I already asked this question, but where are you at right now over the bridge, the 1 to 5 bridge of 1, like I'm really shy and I don't like to tell people about my offer. And then a 5 would be like, I'm telling everybody that comes into my space that I do this, I can help you this. Here's my number. Like, where are you at on that bridge? A 4. Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
I give myself like a 3.5 because I'm super confident in the offer. It's the asking for money portion that I get hung up on.
Oh, the asking for money. Oh, that's a whole other masterclass, right? You guys, we could totally do that. How many of you resonate with that? It's the asking for money part. Yeah. She said, read You're a Badass at Making Money. It's such a good book. Such a good book. It's one of those rereads too. I was just telling you this morning, I'm like, I can reread it and get something else out of it every time. But here's the thing too about asking for money. There's a lot of like baggage and stories that come with, our relationship with money, our beliefs in money. But here's the thing. If you go back to this idea of self-worth and self-value, if you believe that you're like bringing like amazing, I was going to say shit, but not shit, amazingness to the table, there's no reason why you wouldn't be okay saying, this is what I charge, this is my price. Do you think Taylor Swift is like, I don't know, like, can I do this? Can I, like, no, she's like, I bring this confidence to the table. I bring this expertise to the table. And so she's going to ask for the money, right? She doesn't have any problem charging, as she shouldn't, right? And as we shouldn't either, because we believe so deeply in ourselves and in what we do. That's the little tiny missing puzzle piece that doesn't seem important and nobody's talking about. But once you can get that puzzle piece in place, there's no reason why you can't ask for money. There's no reason why you can't be like, fine, I got to know, whatever. I'm just going to go on to the next. Who cares? There's no reason why you can't handle objections and talk about your offer. So it really comes back to the self-worth. Okay, so let's see here. And some other common things, right, that we hear people say when it comes to sharing their offer and essentially asking people for money and to work with them, right, And these are thoughts that I'm going to go over a couple of common ones that if they didn't exist, our lives would be so much easier because we could just move without fear or uncertainty. And again, the confidence and the self-worth and the self-value, they are essentially going to eliminate that fear, right? That's the whole goal. So the second strategy here is to change your thoughts. You can literally like change your thoughts, change your reality. I just saw on Instagram this post that said like, you are only as good as your thoughts. And we don't realize that our thoughts are constantly playing on repeat. Like there are so many thoughts that we have about ourselves. And these turn into beliefs. These repeated thoughts are beliefs, right? So the thought leads to a belief. Beliefs are just repeated thoughts. Then we get an emotion from that thought because every thought is actually neutral, but we attach an emotion to it. So then that emotion elicits an action or an inaction, which then elicits the result. Those are the results we see. So if we can catch the crappy thoughts, and we can begin to change our beliefs. So the first thing with this is always noticing. You guys always, like we've all talked about this, is noticing, right? So noticing when you have that moment in the carpool line and you realize, you and I have definitely talked about this, you realize you're like, this is the perfect moment to say something, or to like, this would be the perfect opportunity to offer something, and you keep your mouth shut because you're like, I don't know, like, who would ever pay me for this? You're thinking, who would ever pay me for this? You guys, people pay thousands of dollars for a Tiffany's paper clip. For one paper clip. For real. From Tiffany's, look it up. Google Tiffany's paperclip. Thousands of dollars, people will pay that. People pay for what's important to them. So if you recognize that what you have can help somebody and can solve a problem, and you own that value in yourself, what's the news story? The news story is people pay thousands of dollars for paper clips. I'm sure there's one person out there that's willing to pay this amount for these amazing services that I provide. I can literally change someone's life. Okay. Another one that I commonly hear a lot that pops up is, she's already doing what I want to do. Or there's already somebody out here. She's already doing it. She's farther along than I am. There's no reason for me to even try, right? That is such a waste of time. It is such a waste of energy. And how can we change that thought? What would that, so if we believe that there's only enough space for one person to do the thing, then the emotion attached to that is going to be like, I guess I won't try. I guess I won't do it. And then you don't do anything. And then what's the result? You're not going to get clients, right? So flipping that thought, catching that thought and switching it around, that nobody does it like I do. Like, you are the best at being you. I'm the best at being me. You're the best at being you. She's the best at being her. We can all be the best, right? We're the best at what we do. So how do we step into owning that? And I literally, like, this work, it's work. But I notice now, like, when I see somebody, when I come across somebody on Instagram or Facebook or wherever it is that I am, and I see somebody that's doing something very similar to what I'm doing, and has a very similar niche, has a very similar offer, has a very, just kind of like a lot of similarities, I don't allow myself to sulk into this like, she's already doing it. I flip that now to think, oh my gosh, like, this is awesome. I can't wait to get to where she is. Like, I'm headed that way and I can't wait to be there someday. I'll also think this is great news because there's obviously a market for this. Like, people need this. And like, this one person can't service the billions of people on this planet, right? And then I also now have shifted this into, oh my gosh, we're doing similar things. Maybe there's an opportunity to support each other and collaborate together, because I am all about, and I know all of you in this space too, anybody listening to this, we live in like a mean girl society, right? This is my way of like saying F that. Like there is room for everybody. Let's all lift each other up here. I've been in so many spaces in my life where I was so incredibly welcomed and uplifted by other women that it surprises me because and it shouldn't surprise me, right? Why does it surprise me? It surprises me because the standard is to shut people out. We get jealous. We get, oh, there's not enough. But no, if we can say F that and lift each other up, then there's plenty of space for everyone. You want to say something? Yeah.
Yeah, I do. No, I loved it when I can't even remember exactly what you said, but it's like that lack mindset, right?
Mhm.
And coming at it from well, there's not enough for me. And that's where that jealousy comes in, right?
Mhm.
It's like we're operating out of there will never be enough.
Yep.
And I love that reframe of like, oh, I can't wait until I'm that. Like, okay, there is enough. There's billions of people on this planet.
Yes.
If there's actual physical space for all of us, there's obviously space for why we're here.
Yes. And yes, exactly. And I'm going to go back. I'm going to tie this back because the bridge, again, talking about self-worth and self-value, if you believe that there's enough space for you, and not only is there enough space, but there's more than enough space and it's needed, you're coming at offering your services from a very, very different perspective, from a very different energetic space, from a very different, just the whole thing. Yes, community over competition. Absolutely. There's more than enough. Okay, so I'm gonna keep moving here because I don't wanna, like I said, I wanna make sure to respect everybody's time. So the first strategy, number one, is to find evidence. And so we made that tiny little tweak there. We talked about how we can fill in the blank using our tracker here. I may just be exactly what blank needs because, and then you're essentially gonna start to find evidence of where that's true. And you can do it with clients that you have right now. You can do it with people that you want to work with. You can even do it with people that are in your like real life right now. Like I could put my son's name in there. I may just be exactly what Cade needs because, and then I can list all the ways that I'm a really good mom. Like I'm a really great mom. So it's really finding evidence to become your biggest cheerleader and to step into your power, step into this, like, I'm not going to fuck around anymore. I am the best at what I do. And that's it. Either come with me or don't. Like that's where we want to be. And that again is the missing piece, I think, in getting clients is that belief. So like, and another thing too is like, I hear this all the time. I don't want to brag. I need to be humble. I don't want to toot my own horn. Okay, ladies, let's just start tooting our own horns and talk about why we're amazing because there's enough amazingness to go around for all of us. We all get to be amazing. It's not one is more amazing than another. We're all just freaking amazing. Okay, last strategy. And this is an interesting one. And I just recently learned this one. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is so good. And it actually works. So I call this strategy the flip back. So you're going to flip back whatever you think is happening, you're going to flip it back on you. Okay. Now, I hear this all the time. Like I have clients who are in those beginning phases of their business or clients like people trying to get clients, trying to sign people, and it's just not happening for whatever reason. The clients aren't signing up, the clients aren't showing up. So we're going to use this kind of goes with the laws of the universe, right? The law of reflection here. So I call it flip back. So let's flip this back. So whatever you think is not happening. So if you feel like the clients just aren't showing up, the clients aren't showing up, let's flip that back and look at where you're not showing up for yourself. I see your face and you're like, oh my gosh. Where are you not showing up for yourself or your business? Yeah, I'm gonna let that sink in for a second because when I heard it too, I was like, what? Are you kidding me? And I'll tell you, you can do this with anything in your life. I'm not even kidding. So my husband, was having this issue and I was like, I actually wasn't having an issue. I'm not even going to call it an issue. I just would walk into a room and I felt like my boys, all of them, I felt like I would walk into a room and say something and nobody would be listening. Like I would be like, hey you guys, hey you guys, hey you guys, hey you guys, hello, like hello. And it was like happening constantly. And I was getting irritated. And I'm like, I feel like nobody's listening to me. So I literally was like, I'm gonna try this little like flip back thing. I'm like, where am I not listening to myself? Where am I? Like, what do I need and I'm not listening to myself? Worked through that whole little thing, did like a little like, went outside, did a little quiet time, did a little like, okay, I figured out, okay, I'm not listening to myself in this area. Literally, I walked in the room and I didn't even say anything. And my husband was like, did you say something? I'm like, what? Like I come in here and I'm like shouting and you don't, and now I say nothing and you're like, what do you mean? What is it? It's like whatever you feel is happening, flip it back on you. So if I'm like, oh, I'm so frustrated, like the clients aren't showing up, where are you not showing up for yourself? Where are you not showing up for your business? Play with that and see how it can change things. Okay. What are any thoughts? I can see like your wheels are turning here, ladies.
I have one if no one else does.
Yeah, please. Everybody can share. It's fine.
It's that idea that we only recognize in others what first exists in ourselves.
Yes. Yes.
So when we're doing that, like even in the smallest manner of you feel like you're not being heard,
Mhm.
we're really just projecting our own needs,
Yeah.
but from ourselves. Yeah.
So how could you take this into a situation too where you're like, oh, I'm not getting clients. Oh, this isn't working. So for me, like I went a long time and like I know at least one of you was with me in this phase, Yoli, where I was like, this isn't working. This isn't working. I just want to throw the towel in. This isn't working. Like for a while, like it was a phase. It's not working. And I look back at that time and I'm like, what would have been a better like question that I could have asked myself? What would have been a better way to go about this? And I think that it wasn't necessarily about it's not working. It was more about like it's not working on my timeline. And so then the question becomes like, where are you rushing things in your life? Where have you rushed things in your life? You previously tried to rush things, and how did that turn out for you? That would have been a lot more of a productive conversation that I had with myself versus like sitting around being like, this isn't working, and letting that frustration kind of take over and be a part of that phase in business. And it didn't have to be frustrating. It could have just been, it's the whole timeline thing, right?
I kind of love that you said productive because I mean, you and I have had enough chats that my brain needs time to process to come up with things and scenarios and whatnot.
Yeah.
But once you said productive, that's sort of where it turned for me of like in every scenario, when we're saying, oh, well, this isn't happening, or I don't have this, or what have you, just asking myself, how can I make this more productive, a more productive conversation? And then just reframing it in that way to discover the new question or a different route to go down.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that too. When I was like, oh my God, where am I not showing up for myself? What do I need? Like, oh gosh, that's where the things come up, right? Okay, so today we have really worked on, again, I gave you 3 strategies today to start to bridge that gap, right? That self-worth, self-value. I am amazing. I am owning this. I have no problem talking about this, talking about my offer. And then tomorrow we'll meet back up same time and we're going to talk about doing. And hopefully once this settles in, like once it settles and you can kind of start to just, again, let it marinate, let it be, let yourself just take it in. You don't have to push anything. You don't have to force anything. What I would recommend doing though, is going on that 4th column of your paper and just kind of start to fill in that sentence frame for each person that you have on that list, right? I may just be exactly what blank needs because, and again, you can do it with people in real life, but the idea here is that you are building a stronger bridge, building that confidence, building that self-worth and that self-value, so that when you talk about what you do and you talk about your offer and you ask for money, it's just what we do. Like we talk about the weather. Like I'm not nervous to ask you how's the weather where you live. Like it's just neutral. It is what it is. So that's where we're going to get. This is the muscle that we're flexing, the muscle that we're strengthening is this confidence piece. Because with the confidence, you can really do anything. You can attack anything and do anything. And it's easy, right? That's what we want this to be. So to recap today, those 3 strategies are, and your homework too, is number 1, begin to train your brain to find evidence that you are the best in every area of your business, of your life. No more playing small, no more being coy, no more being shy, no more being humble. You're amazing and you should rightfully shout it from the rooftops, okay? And then notice your thoughts, catch those crappy thoughts and try and replace them before they become a belief. And do some reflecting on like what's not working or what's hard right now in your business or in your life. So like an example would be clients aren't signing up or clients aren't investing. So what are you not showing up for yourself? What are you not investing in? The no one is listening example. Where are you not listening to yourself? So that's going to be your homework, is just to let it settle, let it sink in, complete that 4th column if you're up for it. And I would love to hear before we say goodbye for this morning, this afternoon, how this resonated with you or how this sat with you, what your ahas were, or anything that you would love to share.
I think that the reflection thing was the biggest like aha moment, if you couldn't tell by my face. Because
My face gave it away too.
yeah. I was like, oh my God, it all makes sense now. Because yeah, like I haven't had any clients yet. So like your example of like, well, where am I not showing up for myself? Like that hit. And I know I'm going through a moving process. So like I'm starting to show up for myself, but I'm like, oh, I'm so curious as to how like things change once we're in the new house. Like, cause I did advocate for and show up for myself.
Yes. And another thing too, and we've talked about this too, but like, no matter where you are, like one really simple question that I like that goes kind of along those lines with like, where are you not showing up for yourself, is just asking yourself, like, what do I need today? What does my body need today? What does my heart need today? And just like letting whatever the answer is be, and then giving that to yourself because you're worth it.
I love that. Yeah. It's only another week here, but that's like a nice way to ease out of this place.
What do I need today? Yes.
What do I need today?
Yeah. I'm like a margarita. That's what I need today. No, just kidding. Every day, right? No, just kidding. Anything else that resonated with you or anything else you'd like to share or contribute before we say goodbye?
I feel like I shared most of my thoughts.
Yeah.
But there is one that I wrote down. There is space and it's needed. I love piecing that together with and knowing that the two can coexist, right? There is space for what we do. And even when we feel like what we offer is not needed, it is. Like we are not alone in our experiences and what we go through and the help that we need. No. Someone out there is at least one person in this 7 billion person universe that actually needs us.
That needs you. And I know that I've said this before to probably all of you, but like, it is literally a disservice for you to not share, to not offer, to not bring your incredible value to the table. It is a disservice. You're doing someone dirty.
I think you told me it's a crime, Sandy.
It is a crime. It is. I'll stand by that. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for being here today. You know where to find me. If you need anything or if anything comes up, please reach out. Like I said, tomorrow we will not be meeting in this space, but Thursday, same time, same place. And we'll take what we've done these past couple days and start to take action. And that's where the magic happens, is when you take what you know and these shifted beliefs and you act on them. That's what manifests what we desire. So you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you so much again for being here, and I'll see you guys on Thursday, okay?
Thank you, Sandy.
You're so welcome. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye, ladies.
Bye.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Beyond the Classroom. If you know something has to change and you're ready to take the next step to make it happen, whether it's in or out of the classroom, let's talk it through together. Schedule a no-obligation chat with me and we can talk through where you're stuck, how to get you unstuck, and how to keep you moving forward. Schedule your free call today by clicking the link in the show notes. I can't wait to connect with you.